Hey, hi, good evening. Man, is it hot. It is hot in Madison. It was, I don't know what the heat index was, like 109 or something today, or 116 or 2 million or something. I don't know. It's really hot. Uh, anyway, uh, I hope you're staying cool. So I was talking with my teacher Trisha Yu today about Qigong, and I learned from her 30 years ago. Um, and she was telling me about sort of the old way, and then how she teaches. So the old way is, the the teacher stands up there and goes into these practices and goes into these states, um, and then teaches from being in those states of being. And then the students are encouraged to kind of get it, to get what the teacher, where the teacher's at. And she said she didn't teach that way. She learned that way, but she didn't teach that way. And what she said is, uh, check in, check in with the students, with the people, and see what their experience is. And you'll be very surprised that very often theirs is very different from yours. And so the point of the practices and teaching isn't to get people to experience what the teacher experiences, traditionally, uh, or classically, but to get them to experience what they experience. It's a completely different way of looking at it, but it's difficult to know what other people are experiencing, without some feedback. Um, and so what she would say, what she used to do, of course, she taught live, is she would take a group of people and break them up into smaller groups, and then they would talk about what their experience was, and then she could learn from them. And so what I'd really like to do today, and this is who it is, I guess this is us, and that's great, um, is we'll do some practices, for 40 minutes or so, um, and then if you, I don't want to twist anybody's arm to talk, but if you would be kind enough to say, well, what is this experience for you? Like, can you describe what your experience of these practices in general, and this class in particular, like what that was for you? And she said that's how she learned. I mean, she learned from a master, but uh, that's really how she learned. So I guess I'm asking if you would consent to do that. Bill's smiling. Todd's cool with it. Okay, great. All right, wonderful. That would be very useful for me. And now I've got to go through this whole rap again for Zoe, who's coming on. Hi, Zoe. Well, you just missed the whole rap, but I'll just in a nutshell, I'll repeat. So what we're going to do today is we'll practice for about 40 minutes. And then I would really like to hear from you, what your experience of these teachings and practices has been. Because the reason for this is a paradigm shift, because I was just speaking with my teacher, Trisha Yu, who taught me 30 years ago and for many many years, and she said that's where you really learn, is you can't assume that you're trying to get people to experience what you're experiencing. Is like there's one thing to experience and you got to get it, and I'm gonna, like, I'm gonna help you get it, and that's really not it. What it is for them to tap into their own, deepest resources. And that's all you're trying to do. And so, but you don't have a way to gauge that unless people like give you a little bit of feedback on it. So, okay. So Todd and Bill are on board with it. So, and I yeah, and you are too. Okay, great. So, let's change the view and let's begin. So there are kind of at least three classical beginnings. And so this is one of them is the standing meditation position. And it's very, very good. And then the other one is the Tai Chi warm up, which is very, very good. And then the third one, and there's at least three, but the three that probably we do the most is Trembling Mountain, and that's very good too. So what I'd like to do is we'll start with standing and then go to Trembling Mountain, and then we'll go to the Tai Chi warm up, and just see how those relate. It can be helpful in these standing postures to just focus somewhat on the skeleton, on the bones. And so we have a visual map of it, but just to sort of feel them. You can do a body scan if you like, from the skull down, and through the spine and the legs and so on. And as you're kind of visualizing it, then you feel that area too. The spine is sort of the upright, or I should say the skeleton is kind of the uprightness. You can't relax the skeleton, but you can relax the muscles. So the idea is the skeleton is upright and the muscles are relaxed. Okay. And then let's go to Trembling Mountain. Now, the uprightness is still here. So the spine is still, aligned. It's the same as the standing posture, except for the movement of the knees, but the posture, if you will, is still the same. When you do this on your own, there's not a right way or wrong way to do it, other than to keep the feet planted. Um, you can do this quickly or slowly, however you feel. You can try lifting and dropping the shoulders when you're doing this. And you can incorporate the, what we do with the stretching of the neck and so on. Okay, well, let's go for another half a minute or so. Okay, so on three, let's stop. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now I'm moving into the Tai Chi warm up. So this is a combination of um, this particular movement and trembling mountain. So we're actually bouncing when we do this. So you can bounce like you're doing trembling mountain. You can bounce and do it, or you can go down, up, down, up, down. So you're bouncing just at a slower rate. And then of course you add in the breath. The trembling mountain isn't exactly done with the breath where this is. And you can experiment with this, and you can do you can bounce faster and still do it, or you can just bounce as you turn. And you'll notice you're not moving the arms. They're just hanging there, really. If you do sitting meditation and you use counting, you can count this, count to 4, and then repeat. Counting the breaths. Okay, very good. Let's just reduce the movement. Now, this standing may feel a little different from what it felt like when we did the first one. We've generated warmth, and the heart rate's up, breathing rate is up. And then you can remember the skeleton and align a little bit if you need to. Okay. So we have the skeleton, the posture, the uprightness. And then we have this, that's sort of the earth element. And then the water element is all the organs. And the soft tissue in the body. And then the warmth, the fire element. And then the air element, the breath. Okay, very good. Okay, let's go ahead and bow to the directions. to the east, south, west, north, above, extend. If you bring your mind to the skeleton and then extend up, way up, and feel up, okay, like a tree with branches, okay, and then the earth, extend down, and then lower and middle dantians. Okay, very good. Well, let's go right to tree and spring and backwash. We'll do 3 sets of those. So start with 3 of these. In breath up, out breath down. Back to standing, and then placing the attention, crown of the head, and moving the attention down the spine. Feel the whole spine. Feel it open. Let's come back up, and then we're still focusing on the spine as it sort of straightens up. And we bring the attention up, up, express it from the hands, extend the attention way, way up and way, way out. Then extend the attention all around. And down the body, down into the ground. As roots, extend the attention down. And then repeat. Backwash. Now we've enlivened the body with our attention. We've extended our attention and the felt sense down into the earth as if we were a tree with roots. Feel down in there, into that. We brought our attention up the body. We've extended our attention out, the top of the head and the hands way, way, way up. Okay. And so that's the vertical, that's based on the posture. And now let's go with the breathing. So in the middle dantian, so with the breath, and this movement is not about verticality. This movement is about radiance, that is um, extending the attention all around the body. Sort of this field all around the body. Okay, so we're going beyond the body and we're focusing on the breath, and we know that the breath, that everything that's living in some way is breathing, and the breath is interacting with the trees, with the plants, which are inside of us and outside of us. So this going, feeling out, and we're connecting through the breath, we're connecting to all living things. And then be sure to also remember to extend behind the body. So that there's a sense that the body is not limited. So using our attention, using consciousness, we extend the awareness of the body beyond the body. Okay, let's do two more. Okay, good. So that now we have a sense of the standing body, the skeleton, the posture, the relaxed organs. And we have a sense of the area around the body and the connection of this body to all living things. Okay, and now using the breath, so we'll breathe in through the bottoms of the feet, fill the torso, breathe out the top of the head. Then reverse, breathe in the top of the head, fill the torso, out the bottoms of the feet. Good. Okay, and let's bring the hands in and the knees. Okay, tree and spring. Breathing up through the body. And one more. Good. Stand a moment. Entry in autumn. So breathing down through the body. And one more. Standing, awareness of the standing body, awareness of the area around the body, awareness of connections to all living things. Okay, very good. And now let's do touching heaven, touching earth. So beginning here. So one up, one down. Okay. And then hold the posture and stretch. And you can begin with the skeleton, the spine, the arms, bones, and then extending with your attention down into the earth and up, 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 way up. Okay, very good. And now bringing this back. Okay, and now this represents the field all around the body. Extend. If you want to, you could turn a little bit. We're extending in all directions around the body. So we're feeling that area around the body and we're inhabiting it. So the physical body is in the middle. Okay, and then this extends out, out, out in all directions. Okay, and then we'll bring that in. And then repeat, other hand. Okay, let's do a couple more. Okay, and then let's drop one hand. Now, as if there are eyes in the palms. So we're looking into the body, looking into the posture. Extending the attention down. Extending the attention through the body. Extending the attention up. And then back down into the body. Okay. Just notice how you feel. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring up our stool or chair. So there's the earth element, the bones, and there's the water element, the soft tissue of the body. And we want these to be in balance. We want the posture upright, aligned, and then we want the muscles and everything relaxed. And when we're in this posture, the breath can move freely. So the oxygen we're bringing in is going to every cell in the body. So we can feel when we're relaxed and upright, we feel the breath permeating the body on the in-breath. And then moving out through the nose and through the pores of the skin with the out-breath. So, so the breath comes in the nose and immediately fills the whole body. And then it goes out the pores of the skin in all directions. And when it goes out, it joins the air, the wind, and is then breathed in by plants and other breathing things. And same when it comes in, it comes from that, the outer, the interconnectedness of everything. So the breath is just moving right through the body. So following the breath, and that is placing our consciousness on the breath, we don't just feel it in the body, we feel where it comes from and where it goes. So it might be like a wind just blowing right through the body. It's a rhythmic wind. And we want to focus on the sensation of breathing and also the stillness between the breaths at the end of the out breath. So that the body's moving with the breath, but the field around the body is um, is still. It's vibrating, but it's not moving rhythmically. It's just present. So we can put our attention on the breathing body and those sensations, and simultaneously on the field around the body. And we'll sit quietly for a little bit, and you can put your attention anywhere within or beyond the body. Okay, let's take a few more breaths. And then just subtly begin to move again. Okay, and let's clap our hands one time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, thank you so much for your presence and for your practice. Uh, Okay, and for privacy, I'll go ahead and stop the